Okay, so now in this book, we're gonna, Arabic level 1, I'm gonna explain 5.4. 5 4, right? And that is صفحة 30. What is صفحة 30?
Page 30.
Page 30. Okay. So this is about counting words. Okay, we learned the numbers. We know how to count. However, when you are counting using a number and then a noun, there are special rules for this. Like, for example, 10 girls, 20 students, 40 cars. When you're counting like this, a number and a noun, there are special rules. And these are the rules, okay, in 5.4. First of all, you have in the red table, you have all the new vocabulary. You need to learn this vocabulary. Okay, how to say year, 2 years, and plural years. Okay, so you have singular, dual, and plural. Why? Because in Arabic, you don't count, you don't say 2 cars, let's say. Okay, you use the dual form of cars. So at the end of the word, you don't use اثنين سيارة, or let's say 2 rabbits, okay? You don't say اثنين أرنب, right? You say أرنبان. So actually you take the noun and you add an or ain, أرنبين, at the end of the word, instead of saying اثنين أرنب. That's called the dual form, and in Dutch, the dualis. Okay? Yeah. Always for any noun, if you're counting 2 things, you don't use name. Let's say 2 books. كتابين. 2 days. يومين. 2 pens. قلمين. 2 houses.
بيتين.
Exactly. Yeah, or بيتين, yeah. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the dual form. And then as of 3, you start using the plural. So plural in Arabic starts as of 3, not as of 2. So with as of 3, you use the number and then the plural of the word. So 3 rabbits is ثلاثة أرانب. That's the plural of أرنب, okay, which we don't know yet. But here I have words for you: year, book, and students. Let's take students, okay? 1 student, student is طالب. 2 students, طالبين. And 3 students, 3 طلاب. 4 طلاب. 5 طلاب. Okay, so from 3 on, you start using the plural of the word. However, you do this, the plural, only up to and including 10, 10. Only. As of 11, you go back to singular.
Okay.
This is a very strange rule in counting in Arabic, but you just have to accept it. Don't ask me why. Okay.
So you say Hadash Talib?
Hey.
Okay.
11 طالب, 12 طالب, 20
20
طالب. Okay. So this is what we have. So if we go one by one, under the table, first you have counting 1. If you want to count 1, you don't have to say واحد. You can just say kitab, unless you are really emphasizing. No, I want only 1 book. I told you 1. then you say كتاب واحد, and you put واحد after كتاب. كتاب واحد. 1 year is سنة واحدة. You saw that's the second example here. 1 year is سنة واحدة. So because سنة finishes with تا مربوطة, واحد takes also تا مربوطة. And then one lesson is درس واحد. Huh? That's counting 1. Under it you have counting 2. That's what I just told you. You don't use اثنين. You put the suffix an or in at the end of the noun. In dialect or colloquial Arabic, the pronunciation is in, like أرنبين. In Fusha or MSA, you have an or ain. So أرنبان or أرنبين. When is an used, when is ain used? It depends on the case. It means, is it a subject or a direct object? Or, you don't need to worry about these things, okay? All you need to know is if you see Taliban or Talibain, both mean 2 students. Okay, there's no difference in meaning. And in spoken, Taliban in colloquial. The second example with year is slightly different because year is sana. Sana finishes with ta marbuta. You can see the word for year in the red table totally on the top. Sana, okay? You see that it finishes with ta marbuta, right? So if you want to add a suffix after the ta marbuta, you change the ta marbuta to ta. So it becomes not in, the suffix, but ten. So sanatan or sanatain. And in colloquial, sintain, sine. We make it, instead of sana, we say sin, sintain. Let's do one more example with ta marbuta so it becomes clearer. And you know a word with ta marbuta? From the story of Sami and Mimi, we have Ghaba, right? Forest, Ghaba, is with ta marbuta. But it's a bit strange to say two forests, is it? You know Sayyara, car? Okay, Sayyara is car. It finishes with ta marbuta. If you want to say two cars, how do you say two cars?
سيارتان.
سيارتين.
صح, Joanna.
I think Chloe said it. Somebody else said it too.
سيارتين. So Sayyara, the suffix becomes ten because Sayyara finishes with ta marbuta. We take one more example with ta marbuta. Taula, right? Taule, which is a table. So two tables. Taula.
Taulatain.
Taulatain. Okay. I hope the rest they understand.
It's the same like methane.
Methane, yeah, exactly. Miye, methane.
Yeah. You also
شكرا.
say the 2 at the end.
شكرا. Everyone understood counting 2? Also with ta marbuta? Can you answer yes or no so that I have an idea?
Yes.
Okay.
I understood it, yes.
Okay. طيب Brooke, فهمتي؟
Sort of.
Okay. Look, I will explain one more time on the board. So let's say here سيارة, okay? سيارة, which is car. It means car. If you want to say 2 cars, I taught you that you don't say اثنين سيارة. You cannot say اثنين سيارة. You have to put a suffix at the end, in. But سيارة ends with ta marbuta, which is this letter, right? سيارة. So what do you do to add the suffix in? First, you change the ta marbuta to ta, so it becomes سيارة. The ta marbuta becomes ta, and then you add in, which is the suffix. So it becomes سيارتين, which means 2 cars. سنة, سنة is year. 2 years. Can you tell me, Brooke?
Sentén.
سنتين. So what you did here is this letter, the ta marbuta, you changed it to ta. سنتين. Then you add in, which is dual. Okay?
Okay.
But if the word doesn't finish with ta marbuta, then it's very straightforward. So let's say talib, student. If you want to say 2 students, Brooke,
Taliban.
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 Or Taliban, yeah. And then it sounds like the Taliban of Afghanistan. Taliban or Taliban. In colloquial, Taliban. Taliban, by the way, that's Urdu. This Urdu has a lot of Arabic words, but they don't mean, with Taliban, they don't mean 2 students. They mean, in Urdu, is it just the plural, students. And the Taliban are students of the Arabic Islamic school. Okay, let's go to now counting from 3 to 10. صفحة 31. So from 3 to 10, you use the number followed by the plural of the noun. Like here, let's do the colloquial years. Years is سنين. So 3 years would be 3 سنين. 10 years is 10 سنين. 5 lessons is 5 دروس. Right? You learn the plural of that lesson. درس دروس. In MSA, is it 3 سنوات, 10 سنوات, و5 دروس. 5 دروس. Then you have counting as of 11. As of 11, you go back to singular, ankle fout. So 11 years would be 11 سنة. Look, when we count with a noun, it's much easier not to say 11 only, but to say 11. I don't know, look at the difference. It's more fluent. If I say 11 سنة or 11 سنة, it's difficult 11 سنة to finish with sh. Then start another word. It's very, you have to stop between them. Whereas if you say 11, it's much, it's easier. 11 سنة, 11 طالب, 11 أرنب, 11 درس. Okay, so we do this with from 11 to 19. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you're just adding R at the end of the number. 13 شر. You only need to do this from 11 to 19 to add the R, I mean. Yeah, until 18, 19. Then 20 خلاص, you go with regular. 20, 21, 22. Okay.
That's so easy.
Yeah, so easy. So 11 سنة, 11 years. 25 years is 25 سنة. See, we're back to singular. 12 lessons. Can you tell me what's 12 lessons? 12 lessons.
12 درس.
Yeah, صح. So here, instead of saying 12 درس, we're saying 12 درس. Fluent. That's it. These are the rules. Okay. Then you have some example questions. There is an MP3 which you can listen and just do it. Yeah, the examples always help to better understand. ماشي?
Yep.
And then you can, for next week, you can continue 5-4 till the end, till 5-4-5, till the end of this chapter. Okay.